And we are back with Lisa Waterslane in the studio. She comes each week with your gardening questions. Just what's going on in the garden. Sometimes there's something to be learned from your neighbors. Just what are they asking? What's that thing in bloom this week? So what's a white tree in bloom?
That's my first question.
Oh, sorry. Kelly, I've answered that question like 20 times today on the sales floor. So it's just kind of
you just stole my thunder.
I'm sorry. I won't even go there. We'll tease them until I'm here to make sure your life is as easy as possible. Oh, my dear, should we just jump right into
Okay, since you stole my first question, I'll go ahead and answer it. Because Dawn wanted to know, she keeps seeing pink blooming trees and light pink, almost white blooming trees. What are they and what's the difference? And which one's better for your yard?
So last week it started. Mm-hmm. So you saw a pink tree starting to bloom. And now it's starting to show some purple foliage. Mm-hmm. So that's purple leaf plum, purple twist plum, purple thundercloud plum. It's a purple plum. It's an ornamental plum. And so there's different varieties. We've got several sizes, several colors here. Mm-hmm. That's kind of announces spring. And it's a great, hardy, tough, short tree. Doesn't really produce fruit most years. Sometimes it forms a little cherry kind of fruit, which makes it a bit messy. The white tree is ornamental pear. Ornamental pears are related to fruiting pears, but they don't form any fruit. And so there's several called Bradford pear, Chanticleer, Aristocrat, Cleveland Select. They're all related to each other. And so they announced spring in this bridal white tree, just white, brilliant color. Mm-hmm. Has a nice shade tree to it in the summer, a nice glossy leaf. And then it's the last tree to turn red in the fall of the year. So it's got a lot of seasons covered. So it's a great tree for you. Both are great trees from here. Mm-hmm. This week, because we don't know when this question came in, but now that the crab apples are blooming, the service berries are blooming, all the native plums are blooming. There's just everything's blooming. Red buds have just started to open up. Mm-hmm. So great trees, great varieties for here, all do well. So there you go.
They all do well. No reason. The one question I do get a lot, and I think it's people moving from other places, worry about the ornamental pears, saying that they're brittle and that they crack and break in the wind.
Yeah.
Do we find that here?
So you're no longer in Kansas anymore, Toto. Yes, in the Midwest where you have ice storms, which we don't have ice storms here. Mm-hmm. We get some heavy snows, but they handle that just fine. Ice storms, when you coat that entire branch with ice, it can be brittle. Mm-hmm. We don't have that here, and it is a great tree for the mountains of Arizona. Go for it. I mean, no issues.
I agree. We agree.
You know what? Would you marry me?
I don't think my husband would appreciate it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, folks, if you're new to the show, we is married. Anyway, and we like being on the air together. We like running a company together.
Most days.
Well, that's kind of being people.
True.
I would rather do it with you than anyone else.
Do you know that? For sure.
For sure. Positive, without doubt. Plus, you're dang pretty.
I was looking for a good screen shrub, but he does not want Photinia.
Sorry, that southern drawl thing still going through my hips. The voices are still playing out. I just want to share them on the airwaves. I shouldn't do that, though.
See how many people we could
offend all my Louisiana Creole, Georgia folks. Anyway, okay, screening plants. Who's that from again?
Tom
wants
a screening plant, but he does not want Photinia.
Photinia, yeah.
What else would you recommend?
Red tip Photinia is the number one seller. We put our kids through grad school with red tip Photinia. And I wouldn't have it in my own yard. It's too big. It's too aggressive. Deer eat it. It gets mold. It just is problematic. We'll make a fortune on you just from all the sprays and fertilizers you have to give it because you got to maintain it so well. There's so many better choices. Mm-hmm. I think that silverberry or Elaeagnus is the native that grows wild here. It's an evergreen shrub, grows about head high, about 4 or 5 feet wide, has this real pretty gold tinge and a very fragrant flower. That's a far better choice. Get it up to size and never water it again. It's just great. It's a great native plant. Another one that's right up there with that is cotoneaster, or cotton Easter is how it's spelled. But cotoneaster, this is coral beauty or red clusterberry cotoneaster. There you go. I corrected myself. Those voices are still going through my head. Well, anyway, it's a big, aggressive 10 by 10 by 10 evergreen shrub. They call it red clusterberry because it puts on clusters of white flowers that turn to berries in the fall.
Are they red?
And they're red. Yeah. Super tough. So we raised our family down in Skull Valley, and we had this huge, now this is a growing operation. So a propane tank you'd normally have in your backyard, this one's 4 times that size. It's a submarine running across your backyard. It's ugly. That's between you and the greenhouses. It's the heaters to run your house and the greenhouses. You just wanted to hide this thing. So we put three, this is huge, got to be 15 feet long and 6 feet high propane tank. Put 2 in the front, 1 on the side. Within 1 season, disappeared. You couldn't see it. Turned it into a garden. It was beautiful. So red clusterberry cotoneaster. Euonymus. There's junipers. We can go on. Come in. We get an entire section. We call them head-high hedges. Right. It's everything, all the plants that grow head-high. We know who you are. We know why you're shopping for those. And so we just curate them and put them out there so that you can shop them and compare them, and you could make them here's the insider tip. If you're going to make a privacy screen, take whatever the plant you like and whatever width it says it's going to grow to. Let's say it grows to 8 feet wide. Cut it in half and plant your shrubs at 4-foot centers. So half that, and they'll have this beautiful overlapping pattern that will just be a solid green wall by the time you get done.
Too true. Remember we went to Ireland, 3-4 years ago?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, we'll get to see all kinds of new foliage. By golly, if there wasn't red tip photinias
everywhere.
I just went, no.
It's probably a terrible plant for Ireland because it's so prone to mildew that and it's so moist there in a lot of places. So we hiked and biked across Ireland for our 30th anniversary, and I would do it for our 33rd.
We're going on 34.
I'd do it for my 34th.
Okay. On that note, Marjorie would like to know, what's the best treatment for thrip? They seem to invade her lilacs and her roses every year.
Yeah, thrip are a problem. Thrip and aphids. So aphids are just starting to show up. So we're seeing that right now. And then thrip are right after them. And so thrip are also called no-see-ums. Sometimes they'll get on your skin and they'll bite your skin. It just kind of hurts. Leave little welts. They're bad. They also do that for flowers, where they bite your flowers and they cringe, or the leaves will curl. They'll get inside like peonies and roses. And the outer edge of the flower will turn black. It looks like a Bic lighter kind of went over there and burned them. What to do? So for roses, you can put on a rose food with systemic. They make a bug control with a fertilizer. Plant absorbs it, gets into the bud, takes care of them. That's a great way to do it. There's also a spray, an organic spray. It's called Triple Action. It's neem oil, N-E-E-M. And so you spritz your flowers, your plants, and it kills the thrip that it hits, but also has a repelling action, has a flavor, a taste, a smell that they don't like. And so it works for about 7-10 days or so, and then it kind of repels them. I would say that's a great way to do some of your smaller flowers, geraniums, petunias, that kind of stuff. Peony and roses, some of your bigger shrubby kind of flowers, give them rose food with systemic. It'll help them take care of that and fertilize them all at the same time. So great choices for that. All right, we are out of time. So
never mind.
Ken and Lisa Lane and the Mountain Gardeners. Be right back. Hold on.